or your ideas for the new housing development, i.e. houses and apartments in Oro Valley?
When I was Plan Commission, I always believed that the person living next to a vacant land had a right to believe that that land would stay that way unless there was an overwhelming reason why it needed to become more dense. And so everything we did in that was to try to find out if that overwhelming need existed. And then if we felt that it needed to happen, how could we work with the neighbors to be sure that some buffering that would mitigate the damage and the views were not in fact affected. I've heard about everything from everybody from the beginning, and it's another one of these developments that troubles me because it is, in fact, larger lots going to smaller lots. How do we do that? So much of our open space, or I shouldn't call it, sorry, not open space, so much of our privately owned land that will be available if someone chooses, a private owner chooses to try to develop it, are from larger lots. So how do we do this? Where do we go? What's the future of Oro Valley look like in terms of how do we protect, or do we protect, and how do we get the resources to actually continue the services of the town, the public safety, the parks and rec, the roads, and all the other services, when in fact we're 50% reliant on sales tax. Sales tax comes from commercial. We don't get commercial unless we have people to buy them. We don't have people to buy them, so we're kind of stuck with what we have. What we have is good, but we are not going to get an expansion of it. We're not going to get any new because there's not enough people. So we've got to figure out how do we balance that unless we want to change how we fund ourselves. That's a whole other question. We want to see a full room of people. But the fact is, this is who we are. We have chosen as residents and citizens of the town to fund ourselves primarily with sales tax, bed tax, and a couple other impact fees or a little bit of state shared revenues, etc. So that's where we are. That means we need people. And we need people where it makes sense to have more people. We have an ESLO that it puts us in a position where we do cluster. I'm not a fan of clustering. I'm just not. But I'm prejudiced. I live on a 330 acre lot. I like having space around me, and I really would love to see maybe some more availability of that. But that's not who we are, and that's not where we are, and that's not what we need. I move to approve ordinance number 018-06, approving the Saguaro Viejos East rezoning from R1-144 and R1-20 to R1-7, including the use of ESL's flexible design options based on the finding that the request is consistent with the zoning code and the Your Voice, Our Future general plan, subject to the conditions in attachment 1. And I want to ask, should I then add
yes.
what?
Yes.
Okay. And an additional condition that the average or the minimum lot size will be 7,000 square feet in this development.
And the lots along Naranja
Go ahead.
would be a minimum of
Well,
10,000 square
Okay.
feet.
All right, thank you. And the lots are along Naranja will be a minimum of 10,000. Okay, we got it?
Yep. Is there a
Right.
second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 7-0.